Hey there, I am Rothina Seje. It is my pleasure to share with you my story while I was in Moscow, Russia. Now, a group of 40 journalists from across the world attended a week-long training organized by Sputnik, a Russian news agency. I represented my country, Uganda. Now, Sputnik's media gurus shared a lot of information with us on how we can better our journalism. Now, besides the daily trainings, they spared an entire day for us to visit the city of Moscow. This is where we went. Now, most of the sightseeing was done in an enclosed bus since the country is in the autumn season. Some of the participants had never lived in countries whose temperature goes to as low as -0. I should say Moscow is one of the countries that thrives on its history. Many buildings in the city are as old as 18,000, but they are still in shape and better. Across the city that has over 11 million people are monuments that represent major historical events of the country. Out of the bus, the group explored the historical Red Square. Some of the main landmarks standing on the Red Square are the St. Basil's Cathedral, a very colorful worship center. Here we took as many pictures as we could. The highest building of the Kremlin was also another favorite spot for pictures. Beyond it is where the President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, resides. The Spasskaya Tower with the clock can also be seen here. Now, each and every building surrounding the Red Square has an historical touch. Thousands of tourists visit the Red Square every year. The State Tretyavok Art Gallery in Moscow is another historical place we visited. A number of artistic work from great painters of the 19,000s and beyond, who through their eyes painted Russia at the time. Now, this was also another spot for pictures. We did not cover the over 2,000 square kilometers city, but we had a chance to look at football stadiums from afar and take pictures in random places during the day and at night. There is indeed a lot to see from the capital city of Russia. The team of 40 is still in touch through social media platforms, so I asked a few people to share their experience.
Hello, I am Clifford GALEA from Malta. I experienced the Sputnik News Agency International Youth Project in Moscow, Russia, between the 28th of October till the 2nd of November. After all, it was a very good experience. We shared our ideas, we talked about how our news agencies from different countries work together, and we collaborated a lot on different stories.
I feel very lucky to be the first person from my country, Philippines, to participate in Sputnik's 4-day journalism training program in Moscow, Russia. I never imagined getting the chance to visit Russia and learn from the experts about multimedia journalism, video content creation, and so much more. But more importantly, I also got the chance to learn from over 30 journalists from around the world about their experiences in the workplace, about their different cultural backgrounds and values. I think that making friends and connections was actually the best part of the trip.
I was among the chosen of Sputnik program in Russia, which started on October 28th to November 2nd this year. I'm grateful for the program. It was a nice and very educative program, putting in consideration the kind of topics that were selected by the organizers were very productive. Comparing when you are trying to compare with the current trend we are going now as a media houses, especially in online and the digital department. So most of the topics which we are relating with the online content, I was much interested with.
In my opinion, in my feeling, what I observed there in Moscow during the program is very wonderful. We heard many things before the Moscow visit about Russia and Russian government and Russian journalism, etc. When we got the opportunity to visit Moscow for almost 1 week, it was very wonderful.
Sputnik News program for a journalist gave me an opportunity so as to meet a journalist from Asia to Europe to Africa, but especially the African journalist. I studied a lot of experience in terms of life in Africa. I didn't find any chance so as to visit any African countries, but meeting some African journalists from these countries, so I found a chance so as to look for what's behind of my border.
It was quite an enriching experience, interacting and talking and getting in touch with so many journalists from across the world, I would say. Also the discussion and discourses about what is actually going around the world in terms of news. The Oleg view, especially, that discussion was something that I liked very much. I wish something of this nature and this format should be done in different countries, and people should be invited from across the globe and should interact more in order to know the perspective of the same news from the point of view.
It has been an amazing journey for me, personally and also professionally. I gained a lot of experience, especially additional inputs regarding journalism, and some of them are also new to me, especially the social media journalism, how to disseminate information quickly and also how to create short videos and such. Not to mention the people at Sputnik News Agency are very friendly, and they are very helpful and understanding and are willing to teach you until you finally understand what they are talking about. My only hope in the future is that the subject and courses presented could be longer and much more detailed, probably a hand-on experience in some of the subjects.
Guess what? On my last day in the city center of Moscow, I pieced up something for my archives. So take a look.
Yeah, this is basically my last day in Russia. Last day in Russia. I'm on the streets of Moscow, you can see. And I should say that's why we've been having our training from, that it's called Poknua. The Russian alphabet is really difficult, but it has been a very good experience. I've loved what I've got from Russia, and I know that there are not so many skills we've gotten, but the ones that we've gotten from Russia are really going to be impactful. And I pray that I get out of the cold weather soon, and it can be a really good experience that I will have to tell my children, my grandchildren, and the people in Uganda. It has really been beautiful, I can say. Bye. Ruth Naseja signing out. Bye.
Interesting. Now, to keep up with more adventures while I was in Moscow, follow the hashtag Ruth Takes Over Moscow, and also like my Facebook page, Ruth the Voice. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.